I'm going to make a couple calls real quick, find out if that's a public office for us to be into, and I'm going to go right back in there. As long as this, oh, so now they locked the door.
Wait, no, it was locked, right?
It was not locked.
Okay.
Because after I didn't try the handle, right? I walked up and hit the button, right? What you should have asked him is, do any members of the public come in here at any time?
Yeah.
Right? Because then if
he said they do, and you talk on the thing, I specifically.
Well, then it's open to the public. Right? And he even told me, hold on camera, he said, this is a public area, and that office that people come and have meetings in is a public area as well. So there's an office where people do.
In that area. He admitted to that.
Of course, because I know my boundaries, right? But that is a open public office. I also ask for public records. I can be there to ask for public records. Appointment, non-appointment, doesn't matter. I can go, I don't need an appointment to go ask for public records.
No, and they would talk to you through the actual thing.
Well, they have to take my public records request. So I'm going to go back in there and make them take my public records request. But now essentially they locked the door.
It is locked.
Right?
I tried to open it.
And it's not a locked office. Want to know how I know?
How's that?
I was here 3 or 4 days ago or whatever last week.
I know the lock was broken per my SSP officer.
I asked them. I didn't have a camera. See, this is what I do. I went in 3 or 4 days ago without a camera, without anything, came in and said, oh, I was looking for, if this is open to you guys, oh yeah, public comes in here all the time. So they're lying to you because they don't want this there, is what they're doing. But it's all good. No, I'll prove it.
There's no point in us having you here and taking you to MDF or what?
I wish you would have. Because it's a fat lawsuit.
I've been doing this too long, man.
What he didn't tell you is when he came out and said, they want you trespass, you got to leave, and you got to, he thinks that I have to sign in to be in there. Please tell him it's not a law. Next thing, he said, well, you're trespassing in here and they want you to leave. And I tried to tell him, hey, this is open. They buzzed me in, And he's like, nope, you can either leave or we're going to put you under arrest. I said, well, if you're going to arrest me, I'll leave, but I want your sergeant. And he said, okay, then step out. And I'm like, get your sergeant. He's like, step out. All right. I stepped out. Outside of the office where we were talking is when he put me in handcuffs. I told him, what crime? Well, officer safety. This guy's a idiot. He doesn't need that badge and gun. He's a disgrace to it. That's my opinion, and that's going to be a lot of other people's opinions. Trash. Horrible what he did and what we've seen right here. I mean, it's just horrible. You don't get to detain somebody unless you have a crime.
Well, we were under, again, even myself, under the impression that you were here trespassing. It's a secured area. But again, that's why I talked to them.
But that's why you guys talked to me, though, right?
That's why I talked to you first. I could have easily walked past you and gone to talk to them.
Well, but him. And it starts with him and him. He was like, yeah, you're not doing nothing. Because I moved, and he was like, hey, let's stay here. And I said, am I being detained? He said, no, there's no. Okay, well, I'm just going to listen.
For sure.
I'm going to listen. Well, not until I was told that I was being detained. But also, like I said, that's not a secure area. Even if it usually is a secured area, and they buzz me in, I can be in there.
What if they now you know
I can still be in there.
Okay. Then you can't go past that door now. How are you going to do that? It's a secured area.
Well, I'm going to go make them do my public records request. Okay. And if they choose to ignore me, I'll document it, and then I'll expose them and put it out. Just like I'm going to expose these guys.
I can respect that.
Right? Like, this guy didn't do bad, except watching him fuck up and not saying anything. I don't know who the more senior officer is or the officer has more time, right? But he should have said, hey, Florida, we can't do that. He left. We don't have a crime right now. Like, he went outside, and now you're handcuffing him for officer safety. Not only that, moving me, right? We know the definition of kidnapping, right? And then taking my property when I didn't consent to it. I said, no, you don't need to take my stuff. No, I'm detaining you for what? Officer safety. It doesn't work like that. This guy needs to learn something, right? And either way, I'll be back. Like I said, I'm going to go back up there right now. And if they let me in, I'm going back in. If they don't, I'm going to push for my public records request. If they don't do it, I'll expose them. And then guess what? I'll be back tomorrow. And I'll come back the next day. And the moment that door's unlocked and they let me in again, and on top of that, I'm going to talk to their superiors as well.
And they are aware. So he already talked to Sacramento. So you may want to call straight to them because they're aware of it now.
Yep. The moment they let me in, I'm going right back in that office because it is an open office.
Yeah, just know that if they tell you have to leave.
I don't have to leave.
Okay, we'll cross that bridge.
Because why did he want me to leave? The camera. Right?
And I don't know if that he's leaning on the fact, at least he is, that she mistakenly let you in.
Then why'd he say it's a public area?
Again, that's I can't speak for.
Come on, bro. No offense.
I can only go with what you're saying, what he's saying. I'm just trying to. Again, I'm not rushing to